everyone, it's Vicky from Minerva. So in today's video I'm going to share with you my top fabric kit picks for the McCall's 7969 dress. Now this pattern it's absolutely loved around the world. It's one of the best selling patterns. It's I think definitely our best McCall's best selling pattern at Minerva. Everyone seems to love this pattern and it really is gorgeous, so it's not hard to see why. It's a wrap detail on the bodice that creates a V neckline. It has a gathered skirt which goes into that waistline seam. There's different length options for the skirt. There's the option to add ruffles, and then the bit that I love about this pattern are all the different sleeve options. View A is probably my favourite, and it's these big sleeves that come into a 3/4 length elastic detail, and they sort of sit at a bit of an angle, and oh, they're just absolutely beautiful. I love the fullness of that sleeve. View B is a straighter sleeve that has then a ruffle along the edge, which is super pretty. View C is similar but has a double ruffle, so if you love ruffles and gathering details you might love that one. And then view D is like a flutter sleeve that's just really elegant and pretty and feminine. Just so many gorgeous options. I can absolutely see why this has been a best-selling pattern. So with it being such a popular pattern, we thought it might make a nice video if we share with you our top fabric picks for the pattern from our range of fabrics here at Minerva. So on the envelope it suggests lawn, crepe de chine, challis and georgette. So that tells us that we want a light to medium weight fabric that has some drape, that's going to really allow those beautiful ruffles to hang well, and those sleeve details, especially on view A with that big puff sleeve, something with drape that's going to look beautiful on that sleeve. So I've picked out a selection of different fabrics. So I've got some prints and some plains. And the idea being that I've tried to do quite a variety of different fabrics, including lots of those that they've suggested on the envelope, just to give you some ideas on the sorts of fabrics you could choose for yours. So let's get stuck into the fabrics. So the first one is our Meat Milk Crispy Crepe is the name of the fabric, and this is made from 86% tencel and 14% poly. So it's predominantly, it's 86% tencel in there, and it has the most beautiful feel, does this fabric. Now you can see it has almost like a washed look to it as well. And when you look up close, which I don't know if you'll be able to pick this up on the camera, but as always we'll link the products below so you'll be able to see it on the photographs if not. It has this really wonderful crepey texture. When you think of crepe, that's the sort of texture that you think of. But with it having this beautiful tencel in the blend, it just feels so soft. And you can see the wonderful drape that fabric has. So it's going to be wonderful for those sleeves, for those ruffles, for all the gathers. And it has I think a more relaxed, washed, lived in, sort of like a natural kind of look does this fabric. This is from Meat Milk, like I say, and we stock all the fabrics from Meat Milk, and so this one comes in lots of different colours. So this is a really beautiful dusky purple colour, but if this isn't for you, we have lots of colours in this range. So again, if you tag the products, tag this fabric that I'll link below this video, you'll be able to see all the colours that this fabric comes in. So next up we have a chambray. So I've chosen our washed chambray because this is a really soft chambray and it still has an element of drape. So if I hold that up there, you see it's not quite so drapey obviously as the last fabric, but it still has a beautiful softness and drape that's going to work really well. Those sleeves, it will really hold the shape of that sleeve, but it'll still gather into the elastic detail beautifully. It will hold its shape a little bit more on the skirt, this one, but it'll still gather up really beautifully. This one comes in 4 different colours. So this is the lighter blue, and it's 100% cotton. Really beautiful quality. It's so soft is this chambray, and it has that characteristic, slight different shades of blue in the weave that you would expect from a chambray fabric. Really gorgeous, and I think this colour is really pretty. But you know, the charcoal and the indigo, you know, those darker colours in the range are obviously really lovely as well. So next up, this is a little bit of a wild card for the pattern, but I chose to include it just to give you an idea for, you know, something you could make this pattern in a more dressed up fabric for perhaps an evening look. So this is our 100% viscose luxury satin fabric, and it feels so soft. And it's quite unusual to find a satin that's made of viscose like this, that has this beautiful sheen to it. And it's a relatively new fabric we've added to our core range at Minerva, but it's already been such a good seller because, like I say, it is quite unusual to find you know, a viscose satin that's as you know, got a high shine like this one has. But I thought, you know, you can see again, it doesn't drape as much as the first fabric, but the viscose content means it still has a beautiful drape and hangs well. So it would be similar to the chambray in that the skirt section, you know, would hold its shape a little bit more, but it would still gather really well because it's, you know, it's a medium weight fabric, it's not too heavy. And again, on that sleeve, it's going to really hold the puff sleeve, or those frills on the sleeve are going to be, you know, going to really hold the shape well. And it's just another option if you want something a little bit more dressed up. So next we have, this is another meat milk fabric, and this is the Diamond Jacquard Tencel. So this is 100% tencel, this one, and you can see we're back to a really soft, really drapey, really fluid fabric on this one. And what makes this fabric different is, again, if I hold it up to the camera, hopefully you'll be able to see that, but it has a jacquard weave. So what that means is that the way it's been woven, there's actually a little geometric pattern that's been woven into the fabric. So it's not printed on the surface, it's actually woven into the fabric. And you know, from a distance, you just see just a plain fabric. But up close, you know, you can see that detail, and it just creates, you know, a more interesting fabric. It's just something a little bit different from just a, you know, just a completely plain fabric. This colour I think is super pretty. I think it's called Cider, this colour, just absolutely gorgeous. But again, from Meat Milk, it comes in a whole range of colours. So, you know, do click on the tag below and you'll be able to see all the colours that one comes in. Next up, we've got a cotton lawn. Now, cotton lawn, lots of people have made this pattern in cotton lawn. It's an ideal fabric for it. So, as you'll be able to see when I hold this fabric out, cotton lawn, even though it's 100% cotton fabric, because it's so finely woven and it has a silkiness and a really soft touch, it still does have a little bit of drape for 100% cotton fabric. So again, not quite so drapey as the tencels we've looked at, but I'd say a little bit drapier than the chambray and certainly the viscose satin. So, you know, it's that middle ground. It's a really easy fabric to sew with this cotton lawn. You know, it just behaves itself and it presses like a dream. And this particular design I think is really lovely, like a geometric sort of tile design almost, in these spirally designs in blue and white. It's a really fresh print. I think that would be gorgeous. But you know, we've loads of cotton lawns on the site, so you know, any of those would just be absolutely gorgeous to make in this pattern. Next up, so we've got a poly crepe. So I wanted to include that, you know, we have loads of different polyester crepes on the site. This is just one particular design. But you know, they are ideal for this pattern. So as you can see, poly crepes are really soft and drapey, really fluid, lots and lots of movement. So they're really, you know, those sleeves are really going to drape and feel full and luxurious and, you know, move as you walk. The fullness of that skirt, you know, is going to swish and drape in this fabric. Yeah, and I love this animal print design. I think it's a really good animal print. A nice scale, lovely sort of warm brown colours in there. But like I say, you know, we have hundreds, probably thousands of crepe fabrics on the site, in plains and prints. So, you know, you could choose any of those to make this pattern and it will make a really soft, drapey, and very, you know, wearable garment. You know, it's just easy to wash, easy to maintain, isn't going to crease. Yeah, it will be lovely in that one. Next up, again, this is a little bit more of a wild card. This is actually a double gauze fabric. And this one is from Atelier Brunette. It's the gingham range, which, as you can see, has a different size check on each side of the fabric. So in case you don't know what double gauze is literally 2 layers of fine gauze fabric that have been interconnected to create one fabric. So a single gauze, which is what each single layer is made out of, is a very loose, a very loosely woven cotton fabric. So this fabric does fray a lot because of its loosely woven nature. But with a double gauze, like I say, it's literally 2 layers that have been stitched together. Like you can hopefully see there, I could hold the 2 layers separately at the edge of that fabric. But there's little stitches, you know, every so often that hold those 2 fabrics together, or those 2 layers together, so it makes one fabric. It's really, really versatile as this sort of fabric. It's lovely and breezy, and it's one of those fabrics that has magical properties where it keeps you cool in summer, but it can also keep you warm in winter as well, because the cotton means it's super breathable and keeps you cool in summer, but the air can trap in between those layers, which can be what makes you feel, you know, can keep you cosy in winter as well. So it's really good fabric for all year round. And I love this double, you know, how one layer of the fabric is in a smaller check and the other layer is in a larger check. And I'm pretty sure I've actually seen someone on the Minerva website, I can't remember who off the top of my head, but has actually made this pattern in one of these ginghams, double gauze ginghams, and I just remember it looking absolutely amazing. So I had to include this fabric inspired by, you know, the maker that shared their version. So if you do click on the pattern or this particular fabric tag below, if you scroll down on the post, you should be able to see that make, and you'll actually be able to see this fabric made up in the pattern, and you'll see what I mean. It looks amazing. They've used different sides of the check as different pattern pieces, and it just looks fabulous. It comes in quite a good range of colours. There's some lighter colours and some darker colours that Atelier Brunette launched later on because it was such a popular fabric. So yeah, lots of different colour options to choose from. It just feels so soft, this fabric. It's absolutely gorgeous. Definitely a really cool, interesting fabric, I think, to make in this pattern. And then the last 3 fabrics I've got to share with you are all our Minerva exclusive viscose challis fabrics, which I think are the perfect fabric to make in this pattern. They've got a beautiful weight, which will, you know, hold the shape of that skirt and, you know, will just hang really well. But they're so incredibly soft and drapey that, they'll just hang beautifully in that sleeve, in the ruffles. The gathers will sit really well. It's, yeah, like I said, this fabric to me is just made for a pattern like that. It's absolutely perfect. You can see when I hang that, just how soft and drapey and fluid this fabric is. So I've chosen 3 different designs to share with you that are all very different. So this one is called Fragment Divide, and I don't know what it is about this print with this pattern, but I just love the idea. I think that design in this pattern would just be amazing. Like, it looks like patchwork denim, doesn't it? That's been, you know, patched all together in all these different designs, in all the different shades of blue. I think that's absolutely gorgeous and will make such a statement dress, but that's quite subtle and toned down in its print compared to some of the others that I'm going to show you. You know, with it being all different shades and tones of one colour, I think that's going to give you a more subtle look. But yeah, I think that would be absolutely gorgeous. The next one I've got, so this is definitely inspired by the version on the envelope, which is made in a design, you know, you'll see what I mean in terms of it's very similar, and that this has, so it's little tiny dots all over the background, and then these line drawings of animals and tigers, leopards, I think they're all tigers actually, with little bits of red in the design. Yeah, and it's just such a clever pattern, this one. It's those hints of red, the little hints of mustard on that black background. Again, it's maybe more of a subtle design, but I just think it's really gorgeous, and it would really give you the feel and look of the pattern on the envelope, the version that's been sewn up in the photography. I think they'll be absolutely gorgeous, and you know, it's just something a little bit different. And then finally, I had to include a floral print. I absolutely love a floral print design, and this one is beautiful. So this one is called Tranquil Leaves, and just look at those colours. This deep, rich teal background, the sort of bright blue, the pastel pink, and that hint of mustard. It's just the most beautiful colour combination, and I think that would be wonderful made up in this fabric, in this pattern. I think it will just look gorgeous in a floral, and I think this is a really special one. Really beautiful design, beautiful colour palette, really bang on trend. Oh, it will be wonderful. So that's all the fabrics I've got to share with you today, which are all my top picks for the McCalls 7969 pattern, which is just infamous, this pattern. So many people love it. Let me know in the comments below, have you actually sewn this pattern? Do you own a copy? Is it in your sew queue? Or, you know, is it one that you've got your eye on? Or is it brand new to you? Have I you know, introduced a new pattern to you? Let me know in the comments, and let me know what was your favourite pattern, favourite fabric, you know, from these picks today. You know, would you be going for more of a print or a plain? Let me know which was your favourite. I'd love to hear from you. So as always on these videos, we will tag the pattern, which comes in different size options. So if you do want to purchase the pattern, just be careful on which size option you're choosing to make sure you get the right one for you. And of course, we'll tag all the fabrics that I've mentioned, and the ones that come in different colour options. If you click on those links below the video on Minerva, you will be able to see all the colour options that they come in. If you're a member of the Minerva Craft Club, you'll be able to save 10% off everything that I featured in the video today and everything on the site. How it works is, on the day that you sign up, you get 10% discount off everything on the site for a full 12 months. You know, so, and you can use that on top of offer codes and sale prices already on the site. So you're always saving 10% extra off everything when you shop at Minerva. So, you know, whether you make one big purchase or you shop with us little and often, you know, that can be a really great saving. So, and as always with Minerva, of course, we do offer free worldwide shipping options as well. So thank you very much for watching today. I really hope you enjoyed that video and you liked, let me know, did you like this style of video where I pick you know, my top fabric picks all for one particular pattern. If you have any pattern suggestions that you'd like me to do this sort of video for, do let me know in the comments below. You know, I'm really happy to take your feedback and you know, shape the content to the sort of patterns that you'd like to do a deep dive into. So yeah, do leave me a comment if there's a particular pattern that you'd love to have some fabric options for, and I can certainly add those to the list. So thank you very much for watching again, and I will look forward to seeing you next time.